welcome to another episode of Gaming with Mr. C.
Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C.
Guys, today I want to do something a little bit different. I wanted to talk about Project Xcloud. It's a feature that is coming out in September, I believe September 15th for Xbox, and it's something that, honestly, I forgot that it's not out because I've been a part of the insider team for about 7 years on Xbox, and I have been on the Xcloud beta for about a year now, and it's something that I've just honestly it's been a part of my normal life that I forgot that it's not out. But I was reminded recently with my boy Hulk and Yoda from Lost at Sea Gaming, a great podcast. If you're on the road and want to listen to gaming news, go check him out. But he actually sent me a picture recently of a controller. It's like a Super Nintendo Xbox controller that he bought in anticipation for Xcloud. And he was like, you know what? Since I've had so much experience for the last 12 months on it, why don't I come and kind of tell you guys my thoughts about it? Because I honestly feel like Microsoft's kind of using this as a key component to their next-gen strategy. It's a way for gamers to be able to play their Xbox games on the go and maybe not even have to have an Xbox. For instance, they have the Game Pass, which is coming to Samsung TVs. It's on the Note 20. So theoretically, as long as you have the Game Pass, you can play your games on the go and not ever have to have an Xbox. So it's kind of interesting. There's two key components to the Xcloud. There's the Xcloud, which is kind of like Stadia, Google Stadia, where you stream the content from Microsoft servers to your device, your phone, your TV, whatever you end up playing it on. And then there's console streaming, where you can stream straight from your console at home to your device. So I'm going to kind of go over both of them. Now keep in mind what you're going to be seeing with me today on screen is going to be done in my home, where I do have Giga Internet. My Xbox is always hard connected Ethernet to that internet. I'm going to kind of give you my impressions of my experience over the last year, some of the experiences that I've had playing it. I've played it in multiple scenarios. I've played it off of 4G, I've played it off of Wi-Fi, I've played it in my home, outside of my home, hundreds of miles away from my home. So I've kind of gotten a unique experience of trying it in different ways. So first off, I decided to, you don't have to buy a controller. You can buy something as simple as a clip. This clip was like $10 to $15 on Amazon. However, Microsoft has a bunch of first-party, or should I say officially licensed products that range up to $100. I've had one that I've seen that is kind of like a switch. It kind of goes on the sides of your controller here. Like I said, Hulk and Yoda decided to go with one that is, I think it was like $40. It's kind of like a Super Nintendo controller. So as you can see, this isn't mandatory right here. This is just so I can capture it to show you guys. Now, at times, I do use this to hook up to my monitor if I am not at my home, so I can play, in different scenarios. However, typically this is what it's going to look like right here. Now, keep in mind, guys, you don't even have to use a clip. This is a standard actual Xbox controller. This is actually my Project Scorpio controller. Now, not all Xbox controllers are Bluetooth. Most of them are, and you can usually tell if this is divided or not, or if by the IR receiver right here. You can usually tell by the IR receiver right there. So my Project Scorpio one can actually connect to my phone via Bluetooth, and this is a Samsung S10 Plus, and so first thing is you have to have your Bluetooth on, and you can basically just turn on your controller, and this one's already synced to my phone, so it will automatically connect to my phone. And then you can go over to your Xbox streaming app, and it will load up, as you can see there on the screen, and it's going to take a little moment to load up. So this right here is actually me streaming on my console. You can disconnect from your console, and then you can click right here. So you have your two options, Project Xcloud or console streaming. We're going to start with Project Xcloud because I feel like that's what most people are going to use. Now, what's so interesting to me is there's games on here that I don't own that I can play. One time, WWE 2K20 was on here, and I've never owned it, and I was able to play it. But as you can see, you have your typical Microsoft first-party games: Forza, Crackdown, Yakuza 0, Hellblade, Tomb Raider, Gears 5, Recore, Wreckfest. I don't own. I was able to play that. It was interesting. But you can kind of go through here. These are all the games that are currently on it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Microsoft said at launch there will be about 100 games. I mean, dude, I mean, look at this. You got every Halo game available to you. You got the Hitman series, incredible series. We already know how. I didn't know Just Cause is on there. That's always a fun game. So as you can see, I mean, there's some games on here, guys. Some Sea of Thieves, Soulcalibur. I mean, there's some good games on here. There's a lot. Unravel's one of my favorite indie games out there. Vampire was a fun game to check out. So Yakuza. Oh, WWE is still on there. Yakuza 0 is an incredible game as well. So this, you basically just come in here and you pick what you want to play. So I feel like that Forza is usually of high quality and really tests the frame rates. Now you may not be able to kind of see this in this environment, but let's try it out. So let's take a look here. I am connected to my Wi-Fi, and let's play Forza. Let's check it out. So guys, ultimately, when I play off of the Xcloud, I have very little lag. I'm going to be honest with you. It's quite impressive, both in 4G and connected to Wi-Fi. Now, you got to keep in mind the Note 20 is 5G. I mean, you could have probably zero issues with this if you're in a bigger market and have a 5G phone. My scenario, this is a 4G phone, so I've only played it on 4G and Wi-Fi. I didn't even attempt it on 3G. I'm not crazy. However, I've never had any issues with the Xcloud version of it. It usually looks great. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and see what we can do with some Forza here real quick. I know I don't want this video to be 20, 30 minutes long, but I'm trying to give you guys a real-world scenarios with this. So I do have the Lego expansion, which I absolutely love. But we're going to go ahead and try to play some Forza here. So as you can see, I'm not having a whole lot of issues with input lag. I'm playing straight off of my phone here because I don't want to increase the input lag off the TV. Now some of this is just I'm bad at Forza. I love Forza because of its graphical fidelity. However, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at Forza. As you can see, I just drove through a car. So there's a slight input lag here, guys. But it's not again, it's not game killing. Alright, so I want you guys to kind of be able to experience some things here. So I hit the Xbox button, right? I can see my friends, my achievements, I can find somebody, right? Now you're probably saying, alright guys, what do we want to do if we want to... I can actually use my phone here to quit the game. We go back. And now at this point, we can try to play something else. For the heck of it, let's try some Soulcalibur. Ooh, there's some Tekken. We'll do some Soulcalibur. Now keep in mind what we're seeing here today, what I'm going through with you guys is actually still beta. The final product may differ. It may be better, may be worse. However, I would anticipate it to be better. Now keep in mind also, upon its launch, it is only going to support Android devices. In beta, it supports both Android and Apple. So it's not that Apple's not coming. I just think that with it not being an open source like Android, it's going to take a little bit longer to kind of make sure that it's done right. Also, Microsoft has stated that Project Xcloud is never done. They are always continuously trying to improve it throughout the lifespan. They kind of, in my impression, they kind of look at Xcloud as their future of gaming and kind of where they want to go with gaming. I personally think that, 10, 15 years, we might not necessarily have the Xbox console. We're going to have an Xbox app, a Apple app, a Google Stadia app, a PlayStation app that has games on it, on your TV, on your phone, on your iPad, your tablets, and that's going to be how it is. So we're going to check out Soulcalibur real quick, and then we're going to try to do some of the streaming from our console. Again, I just want to show you guys different games. You might be a fighting game fan, you might be a sports games fan, you might be an action adventure fan. You know, everybody has a different cup of tea, right? Mine's Sweden. I'm a Southern guy. What do you do if you play a game on your console and you go to the Xcloud and you want to bring your save over? Well, that's kind of the genius of it. All your saves are done online. So, for instance, when I was playing Yakuza 0, one day I was not at home and I wanted to play Yakuza 0, but I couldn't connect to my Xbox at home. I wasn't sure if there was a power outage, my internet was down. I really don't know what the issue was. So I loaded up Yakuza 0 from the cloud, and I was able, it immediately came up and says, hey, do you want to load in your save file? Which I did, and I was playing just where I left off that morning. So it's pretty cool, man. So I really want to skip this because I want to show you guys what it's like to play a fighting game with some possible input lag. What? I didn't know my boy from The Witcher was in Soulcalibur, guys. We're learning stuff today. Holy crap. I wish I would have picked him, because now I'm going to get slaughtered. Man, guys, you remember back in the day, what was it, Soulcalibur 2? It had the dude from Tekken on the PlayStation version. It had Spawn on the Xbox version. And it had our boy Link on the GameCube version. Alright, guys. Apparently, I am no good at Soulcalibur. Alright, so real quick, I want to show you guys kind of what it's like to console stream. So we go back, we hit console stream, gives you an option of which Xbox you want to connect to if you have multiple Xboxes. So I'm going to go ahead and hit connect. And it's going to load. So one of the things I wanted to show you is I'm literally in the room right now. The console is on this monitor that I got turned off. But this is, my everyday controller. And as you can see, it's controlling my Xbox. Alright, this is the one we're streaming on. So this is happening in live. It's live, right? So, in other words, what is happening on the Xbox is what's going to happen on your phone. So you got to keep that in mind. If you share your console with a buddy, a friend, a brother, a sister, mom, dad, girlfriend, whatever your situation is. If they're at home playing, you might not be able to stream. Now, personally, this is my favorite feature, to be honest with you, is being able to play my console anywhere in the world. I'm able to continue so in other words, on the things that are on the cloud, they stream better, they're quicker, they're more responsive. I will say that. However, the ability to be able to play any one of my games that I own is incredible. I mean, incredible. Whether it's NBA, whether it's Resident Evil 2, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be on the past. I can play it. Now, keep in mind that I am hardwired in here. So, my issue, I think, with the console streaming, and maybe it will get better, especially with the Series X, because it has more raw computing power. As far as the internet, it's gonna be hard to find better internet. I do notice some lag on it, is what I will say that. Again, it's not game crippling. It can be a little bit annoying, to be honest with you, especially when I'm playing NBA. Because to be honest with you, I mean, this isn't the biggest size screen, and I don't mind playing on it, but I don't ever see myself playing this in long sessions. What this is perfect for, honestly, is if you got to commute to work. In other words, if you have to... See, I mean, like right here in this scenario, guys, this is on point. I mean, look at this. I mean, zero lag. Boom. I mean, just on point. I mean, that's just on point. I want to back out. It acts just like my Xbox. I hit the guide button. NBA app is updating. We got Overpass. Let's see here. Go to my games and my apps. I don't know if I have my SSD drive plugged into this Xbox, so I may not be able to play NBA, but let's try. I keep a couple games on my SSD drive that require longer load times, your Assassin's Creeds and your NBAs, just because if I can shorten those load times at all, I'm going to do my best to. However, what I was trying to say is recently I played Paper Mario Origami King, and you will get a review for that very soon. But what was so fun about playing my Switch again, which I haven't really played since Animal Crossing, is the fact that I can play it laying in bed. I can play it downstairs. I can play it, while my wife's taking a shower. I can play it, if I have 20 minutes at work. I can play it on my lunch break if I'm at work. I can play it if I'm waiting on, at the doctor's office and I gotta wait in my car till he can see me because of COVID. So that's what's cool about this, is that you can play this in those little pockets of time that you normally can't play your Xbox because you're not at home sitting in front of your TV, which I think is great. I mean, there's been plenty of times where, I go upstairs to go to bed, or if I go downstairs, or if I just get home and my wife's finishing up a TV show, she might have 20 minutes left, and she's like, oh, I can change it. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. I'll pull this out. I'll throw on a game of NBA 2K while she's finishing up her TV show, and I'm still spending time with my wife. So, it can work out for you guys. But I think in most scenarios that this is going to be something that I'm not going to do serious gaming on. I might play a game of NBA 2K. I may play a game of Madden on it. I might do some grinding in Yakuza, but I'm not going to be playing Call of Duty Online on it. I'm not going to be... probably not going to play a story beat of a game in it, to be honest with you. I have, and I don't have an issue with it. It's just, I'm a techie, and I would prefer to play in 4K, HDR, and all that jazz. So let's see if we can get a little NBA going here. So like I said, it's just like the ever so slightest lag. I mean, just the slightest. It's noticeable, but it's not game crunching. See, if I was, So ultimately, guys, at the end of the day, this is impressive. I want you guys to understand this. My total buy-in has been $10 on Amazon, and I don't even have to have that. You understand that? It has cost me nothing more than I'm already paying to play my Xbox anywhere in the world, as long as I have an internet connection. And that, to me, is impressive. Whether I use it for an hour a week or 20 hours a week, it's not costing me anything more. And the input lag is actually, in my opinion, better than that of the Stadia. The graphical fidelity is better than that of the Stadia. And their whole console, their whole ecosystem is built around that. This is just a feature of the Xbox, which is quite impressive. And if I wasn't so into graphical fidelity, I would probably do this all the time. But if I have the choice, I'm going to go play on my monitor. But I've gotten an extra 5-10 hours a week of gaming in because I have this feature, which is pretty awesome, because at the end of the day, you get extra 5 hours of gaming in, you can beat Resident Evil 3. You can beat an entire game just off your extra playtime on something that you already have. And you got to think about this. How hard is this to carry around with you? When I go to work, I used to do a briefcase, and then I did a messenger bag, but now I just do a book bag. I keep this in my book bag. This never leaves my book bag, so my book bag always goes with me to work. So if I ever have a free moment in my day, I have this with me. I just pull this out of my book bag and I start going. It's got the batteries in the back. I'm ready to go at any time. which is incredible. I highly recommend anybody to check this out because I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I know in the past companies have tried things similar to this, whether it was Microsoft when they tried to do it on laptops and computers in your own in-home network. I know Sony has done it on the PSP through Wi-Fi. But my experience with those have always been less than stellar. A lot of input lag, a lot of hiccuping on the graphics, and the fact that you had to be on Wi-Fi. And in some cases, you had to be on your own Wi-Fi. You had to be on the same internet as your Xbox. This, you could be on 4G, 5G, anywhere in the world and play from Microsoft servers or play your own console. And that's incredible.
Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C. Gaming with Mr. C.